Olha a explosão, quando ela bate com a bunda no chão, quando ela mexe com a bunda no chão, quando ela joga com a bunda no chão, quando ela sarra e o bumbum no chão, chão, chão.
The world is changing rapidly. More people than ever are going to live in megacities. At SKODA, we develop vehicles for a sustainable world and new digital services for optimum connection of intermodal mobility. Based on our DNA, driven by inventiveness since 1895, we have created a new vision for simply clever micromobility. Effortless, fully electric and always connected. Introducing the Clement by SKODA.
Action! So I wasn't entirely sure whether or not we should put this on the open road or the Empire Tech Cave, because this is a very interesting piece of kit. This is the Suron e-bike, which is somewhere between an electric bicycle and a balls out electric motorcycle. Let's take a closer look. We'll put all the entire spec sheet below, but the basic thing is this runs a 6 kilowatt motor off a 32 amp hour battery. Now depending on how you gear it, that can basically be an absolute weapon and get you up to 75 kilometers an hour very, very quickly. As we know from the things like the Tesla, the electric motors on these have instant torque and a lot of power, and they're a lot of fun. This is an interesting thing because it's got, as you can see, a motorcycle style frame, but because it's so lightweight and designed to be a smaller sort of a thing, it's running mountain bike parts and it's running some motocross inspired parts that have been bespoke made for it. It's actually a very unique and interesting piece of kit. You can see in the rear swing arm, it's very motorcycle orientated, not the sort of thing you'd see on a mountain bike. However, the brakes are straight off a mountain bike. It's an interesting amalgamation of parts that are going to turn into something that I think is going to be a lot of fun. And I think the most important thing to do is get some gear on and go and try it out.
Smooth, eh?
Oh, very smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no gears. That was awesome. Let's take it back to the shed and we'll have a proper chat. Well, I gotta say that was a hell of a lot of fun. It wasn't quite what I expected. The thing when you go and try something new is always, particularly with things like motorbikes, is I was reaching for a rear brake that wasn't there, and I was reaching for a clutch that was the rear brake, so that kind of threw me a little bit. It's a bit of a learning curve, but because it is an electric bike, all it needs is a throttle and a front brake and a rear brake, and those are all where mountain bikes are. So once I rewired my brain to figure out how it worked, I had a hell of a lot of fun. Obviously I was just going a bit easy. I did end up putting it in the sport mode and trying that out, and that does make a significant difference. The overall weight of this bike, when you're riding it, is only 50 kilos, which is obviously a lot lighter than a motorbike, but a bit more heavy than my mountain bike, which is 10 years old, but that's a story for another day. What was really surprising was how easy it is to throw around. The weight is very easy to manage. Obviously I wasn't throwing it through the air like some of the other guys, but it's a fun little thing to play with, and what becomes interesting is it might be a good option for if you've got your big sort of DRZ 400 and you want to go bushwhacking, but your wife wants something a bit smaller, or maybe your elder kids or something like that. This is a great option because it's got very manageable power. The power is really very linear when you turn it on, and it's a very easy bike to ride, but it's also a very easy bike to push quite far. Let's cut to Taz and the lads having a bit of a play. This is Taz. He's been the man behind the re-engineering of these bikes to make them even more mental. Let's see what you can do.
Cheers.
Got color in your cheeks. Do you ever get that feel that you can't shift the tide that sticks around like so much in your teeth? Are there some aces up your sleeve? Have you no idea that you're in deep? I dreamt about you nearly every night this week. How many secrets can you keep? There's this tune I found that makes me think of you somehow, and I play it on repeat until I fall asleep, spilling drinks on myself.